Rising in the MCU, Ghost Linger at Lucasfilm, while Disney can't leave a dead franchise buried. And finally, it's time to break down RWBY Volume 6 on the first word. All this and more on a special Halloween edition of Fandom Nonsense, coming up next.
Boo. You ever been spooked before?
Oh God, yeah, man. I've worked in like a little haunted house areas where like they would talk about how it actually was haunted, and then we would go through. They'd put a Ouija boards all over the place, and everybody would be ready to fuck with you and stuff. Some guy grabbed me and pulled me into a hole, and then like covered my mouth, and like as everybody else was walking, and he was like, shh, 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 we're gonna fuck with them. I'm like, yes.
I used to throw bonfires every Saturday night in my backyard when I lived with my parents. And we had a Ouija board out, and apparently there was a ghost back there named Bert, according to my friends. Mm-hmm. Bert would encourage people to climb trees and jump out of them.
Did they do it?
Yeah.
Did anybody die?
No, Ben almost broke his arm once, though.
Bert?
No, Ben.
Oh.
But yeah, Bert the ghost almost broke his arm.
I mean, there could be like a whole like story in there.
Sure.
About Bert, like what happened to him? Maybe he fell
happen?
out of a tree.
I think that's what happened.
And
he probably got hung.
Ooh.
He never made it down, and so he wanted to live vicariously through someone else. To like, what's it like to actually land after jumping out of a tree?
So that's how you do it. Tuck and roll. Oh God.
I had it wrong. I'm glad I didn't make it there. Jeez, I would have just embarrassed myself.
The first, 10 to 12 years of my life were incredibly rural. And my parents had, it was actually my grandfather's land, had, I don't even know how many acres, miles of
Ghosts.
just of woods and wooded area and everything. I spent hours out there riding foolers and stuff, and inevitably I'd get something stuck or run out of gas, and I'd have to walk all the way back home in the woods in the dark. Yeah.
Really?
And you very quickly figure out there's nothing to be afraid of besides the things that are actually there to be afraid of when you're actually alone in the woods that much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're not afraid of the dark really. You're afraid of what's in the dark.
Yeah, you're afraid of the unknown.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that's why you're afraid of under your bed at nighttime.
Right.
And close it.
When I first moved to Kentucky, between the ages of whatever kindergarten and 3rd grade was, I lived in Bardwell, and we lived on Elm Street.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was my grandparents and my brother and I. And my mom was occasionally there. And all the houses were apparently supposed to be haunted.
Subtle shade. Go ahead.
All the houses were apparently supposed to be haunted, and each one had its little story. But my friend lived on the hill, and there was a house between us. And
Sorry.
And I would go over there a lot, and one day we decided to go out into her backyard, because there was just a bunch of fucking woods, Bardwell's in the middle of nowhere. There's a gas station, that's all that is. The school's 2 hours away, so it's all the grocery stores and stuff. And we found a cemetery after we walked way back there, and we couldn't find our way back for 2 hours, and so we were 1st grade age, just wandering through the woods at night, stumbling over things. It's pretty terrifying. There was also a little shack that was there, and then one day it was just gone, and no one remembers it. All the kids do, and everyone that was my age now remembers it. None of the adults do.
Because they're old.
Yeah.
No, they were blackout drunk.
Oh, that's...
During the whole thing.
During the entire adolescence of British children.
Pretty much.
That sounds accurate for Bardwell.
So, happy Halloween, and welcome to Fandom Nonsense. I'm Zach.
I'm Spooky.
And I'm also spooked Nolan.
What?
What? I'm also spooked Nolan.
Oh, spooked.
What do you think I said? Also spooked
Welcome to
Nolan.
Fandom Nonsense.
Welcome to Nolan.
I'm also fandom spooked.
I'm disoriented. I can't see anything.
Hope you guys have had a good holiday, full of candy and spooks and...
Ooh, look at my hair.
Cotton candy, making me randy.
That's the third time. That's the third time.
Only the third? There was like 3 or 4 last night.
No, there was only twice last night.
You weren't there.
There's so many.
There were
so many times.
Yeah.
At least half a dozen.
I listened to it. I listened to all of it
Yeah,
today.
but it wasn't all being filmed.
Yeah.
That was. Pretty sure everything got filmed last night.
Not everything.
Most everything.
Most everything.
Man, okay, so I set the camera down on the table whenever you put your dog on the table, your little puppy, and the entire spot of it is just his asshole. The entire video is just his asshole.
Cool. Can you put that video right here so people can see?
Yeah.
Cool. Happy Halloween.
There's nothing more horrifying
Then a puppy's
than a
asshole.
deep chasm.
A female dog named Dan.
A male dog named Daniel. Dandelion.
I should say
Dandel.
Daniel.
Oh! That wasn't me, I promise.
It was a ghost! Because it's spooky.
Ghost.
Let's actually talk about something.
Do we have to?
Do we ever? It won't take long. There's really not too many spooky things. Of course, at least 2, probably more, dead characters will be returning for Avengers 4. No one seriously believes that the undusted heroes won't return in next year's Avengers 4. However, there may be parts for characters who perished in previous MCU films. Avengers 4 screenwriters Christopher Marcus and Stephen McFeely appeared on a panel at Austin Film Festival where the deal indicated that Tilda Swinton will return to reprise her role as the Ancient One. Of course, Swinton originally the role of the gender-swapped Ancient One in Doctor Strange, but she was killed off in that movie. According to the report, Marcus and McFeely said that Swinton was only available for a single day of filming. That suggests will only have a cameo appearance at best. However, she could potentially play a role in the eventual undoing of Thanos' great ambitions.
Awesome.
Neat.
That would make sense.
Yeah,
Also, McFeely sounds like an Irish priest.
it does.
Catholic?
A priest.
Yeah. Yeah.
And earlier this week,
Priests are Catholic.
we're Jewish. Frank Grillo,
What? Are they priests?
Those are rabbis.
the rabbis.
they have a priest class, but I
Yeah.
guess it's the same thing.
Cut a meat next to the fillet area.
What?
Rabbi? Ribeye? Okay.
Anyway, and earlier this week, Frank Grillo confirmed his own Avengers 4 return. Grillo portrayed Brock Rumlow, aka Crossbones,
Crossbones.
I got it!
in
That's a
Captain
terrible
America:
name.
The Winter Soldier and Captain America: Civil War. Crossbones didn't last long before he killed himself in an attempt to murder Captain America. During an appearance on the UFC Unfiltered podcast, Grillo
Grillo.
Grillo offered a few details about his MCU comeback. He makes an appearance in the next Avengers movie, but it's a flashback, said Grillo. I don't know what he sounds like, so that's my best impression.
It's pretty accurate.
I hope so. Presumably, his villain will appear alongside Chris Evans' Captain America, but it's anyone's guess at this point. There has to be some reason for Crossbones to show up. However, we may have to wait until May 2019 to get definitive answers. Ooh,
Spooky.
spooky.
He's a ghost.
Crossbones.
No, you can't. How can you come back from that?
I'm betting both of these are going to be flashbacks.
Yeah.
They're just going to be like past things. I don't think that, especially with her only having one day and him being dead as fuck. I think it's probably gonna be
I bet we'll
flashback, but maybe they'll bring him back. I don't know.
I bet we'll get one serious Doctor Strange Ancient One scene where she like reveals something to him.
Mhm.
And maybe be a flashback to when he was consulting his Infinity Stone.
Right. Yeah.
Truth, man, I have problems with the upcoming Avengers 4.
What?
Well, not
We know
for
nothing about it.
not for the movie itself.
Oh.
Fuck
It-
Crossbones.
No, it's for the fact that like Marvel's not even acting like these people died.
Well, it was kind of a...
Like they don't give a shit. They're just showing out all this stuff for like
How could they-
what's his name?
You know it's a movie, right? You know
Yeah.
these people didn't actually die.
We don't know that.
I expected not to see Chris Evans until May 2019. No, what?
Chris Evans didn't die.
That's
right.
You can see Chris Evans all you want.
No, like the Spider-Man, Tom Holland. He already came out talking about and showing off his new suit and everything.
Well,
this nigga died. This nigga, he had like this guy.
We knew
Black. He had this huge moment of like I don't want to go, and then like a few months later he's like, oh, look at my new suit.
Yeah, but they already have a sequel in the works.
Before the first
Tom
one.
Holland.
That's even worse. He's supposed to be dead.
But it's set before the events of.
No, it's not.
Is it?
No.
Oh, when is it set?
It's after.
It's after.
Well, never mind then.
Yeah. But it's like he had this great moment. It's completely just washed out because of all this ad and campaigning.
Well, I mean,
for something that's already huge.
Well, it was kind
that's
of
the
implied.
price we pay.
Right.
I mean, that's the price you pay for having this sprawling universe where you're getting a new movie every 4 months or so. You don't have time for the weight of something to sink in for. It's like, oh, well, obviously he's going to be fine because his next movie's coming down the pipeline. Like, it's bigger with Infinity War than it's been in the past, but I feel like that's been a problem all along. Is you can't escape the meta of it.
Right. Also, what's important about them fading away is how it makes you feel at the end of that movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think even when I saw that, I was like, "There's no way this is actually how things are gonna end," because we knew that there was gonna be another Avengers movie.
Well, yeah.
In general, so I think.
I don't know. I feel like the immediate just like marketing for everything else that's coming out just kind of like ruined that moment for me. It doesn't. That moment will never be like as heavy because of how hard they did this.
See, it's still heavy to me because it's in the context of Tony and Peter's relationship. Like, now, stepping outside of the movie, yes, immediately it's, okay, obviously he's going to be fine. They're all going to be fine. Even people who shouldn't be, like Heimdall and Loki, are probably going to be fine. But in the moment, for me, it still works because the story leading up to it in that moment are well done. It's just stepping out of it's like immediately like, yeah, that's bullshit. So I see what you're saying, but it's kind of just like, I don't know, immersion, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. If this movie was done in like the 80s, we wouldn't have got all this like.
Yeah, all these.
See, it's the future that causes movies to be ruined for me.
Yes, that's fair.
You know, whenever I watch a prequel, I kind of feel that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know where everything is going to end up. But it's the dramatic tension of how you use the moving parts that you have at the beginning of the story to make it so. And I try to suspend all of my world knowledge whenever I watch a movie like that because I want to just feel the themes and conflicts that are happening in the context of the movie.
It's like Captain Marvel's going to be a prequel. But
yeah. And I think the thing with a prequel is it doesn't need to matter if the character dies. That doesn't need to be the weight of it because we know they're not going to.
Right.
We know they're going to survive. So it needs to be the circumstances and everything in the context of the story that gives it weight.
Inform what was already established in the original release of the character.
Right. And for all of its flaws, I think that Solo actually did that pretty well. Yeah. Like, Han's not going to die, but there's a lot of how is he get himself out of this mess kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right. How does he change from being the kind of open-eyed optimist he is at the beginning of the film, just the kind of weightless sort of rebel character, to being somebody who has understood loss and isn't super enthused to be in a romantic relationship.
Yeah, like young Han Solo would have never shot first.
Well, and that.
But, yeah, he had to, and then
that's part of the flaw to me of Solo, because it's like a ping pong effect of character development. Like, Han to me was developed too much in Solo to where he starts out at. He's too much of a good guy at the end of Solo to where he is when we meet him in A New Hope. And that's probably one of the biggest flaws of that movie, other than the fact that it just didn't need to exist.
We're gonna get a Solo too.
Oh God, I hope not.
One is the loneliest
Speaking of things we're
number.
not getting, Boba Fett's solo film is 100% dead.
Good.
Confirms
Aw.
Kathleen Kennedy. Yep.
Good. That's wonderful. I'm absolutely okay with that.
Anyone holding out hope for a Star Wars anthology film starring Boba Fett is in for a big disappointment. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy has apparently confirmed there are no plans to move forward with that movie. The news comes from Critics' Choice Association reporter Eric Weber, who caught up with Kennedy last night at a special screening of Marvel Studios' Black Panther. Though unfortunate, Kennedy's update on the project isn't very surprising. Lucasfilm was said to be putting all Star Wars spin-offs on hold this summer after Solo: A Star Wars Story delivered underwhelming box office numbers because Disney released it a month after Infinity War and only 6 months after the last goddamn Star Wars movie. My words, not theirs. Before that, Logan Helmer James Mangold was announced as the writer and director of the Boba Fett film. Other movies rumored to be in the works include an Obi-Wan Kenobi feature directed by Stephen Daldry, as well as a Yoda film. Ideally, the former would have seen Ewan McGregor reprising his iconic role from the prequels. New film trilogies from Rian Johnson and Game of Thrones creators David Benioff and D.B. Weiss are supposedly still happening.
What spin-offs?
The Rian Johnson trilogy and the Game of Thrones guys trilogy.
That's neat. Yeah, no, I was never excited for a standalone Boba Fett movie. That just ruins Boba Fett.
I wasn't excited for it, but I would have seen it.
Oh yeah, I would have definitely watched it.
I mean, I can't think of any character that needs.
It would be nice to see how Yoda became Yoda.
I mean,
I don't know if you could contain all of that into one movie. Though.
oh no, you need a trilogy. But I mean, I feel aren't his people like they're just naturally force sensitive?
I'm not sure what's going on with his race of people.
I don't know, but I don't think even Yoda though. Like,
You don't think he knows it?
no, I don't
family?
think I don't think that Yoda warrants a spin-off movie.
Oh no.
Like, I don't.
No, that would be kind of. I don't know. I think if
Expand the world with new characters. Quit
Comic.
just holding on to your old stuff.
oh
Yeah.
for sure.
A comic for Yoda, absolutely, and for Boba Fett, and
I
that's
still don't.
no. There's things you can do with that character. Don't bring him back to life.
It ruins the mystery of him, I think. Because that was the thing that made him so famous, made him so popular.
You can really hold mystery well in a comic though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Don't bring him back to life.
Right.
Yeah.
The Sarlacc pit ended it for him.
Mm-hmm.
He did go out like a bitch though.
Yeah,
He
he
was
did.
a bitch though.
Comparatively.
He wasn't supposed to be though. He was supposed to be like the most badass guy in the world.
Yeah, and
Usually
The
people
mighty
who
fall
have that-
hard.
Yeah. Usually people who have that reputation end up biting it pretty hard.
yeah.
Conor McGregor.
Got him.
Priest McFeely.
But no, there's so much of the
Oh, come here, child.
there's so much of the galaxy to explore that it's just
Let me feel your potatoes.
it just seems like.
There's
And I
spuds.
feel the same way about Solo and Rogue One. It's while they're enjoyable enough, I would have rather have seen something different.
New.
Yeah, something new.
Like it's a giant galaxy far, far away. Like show us a little bit of that outer realm.
Right. Don't tell me you're running out of Star Wars names. Like you can just throw them together at this point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You know who has a really Star Wars name? It's Jay Leno's wife, Mavis Leno.
Whoa. That is no, that's really
Right?
Star Warsy.
It's so Deepak Chopra.
Mariska Hargitay.
Cheva Pravat Dumrong.
Cherry Pravat.
Cheva Pravat Dumrong.
No, who am I thinking of? Is that the chick from Family Guy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. Cherry Cheva Pravat Dumrong. And she is so she's hot.
She is.
She's really hot. With such a wonderful last name. I wonder where that originates from. Cheva Pravat Dumrong. Dumrong?
Sheva Pravat Dumrong.
I wonder if she ever her parents were
She's
just
she's
Cherry
a-
Pravat Dumrong.
That's her last name, isn't it?
I done wrong. What?
It's her last name.
Yeah, it's her last name. I hope.
That name tag would be
Yeah.
insane.
Hello, my name is Sherry Peppermint.
I hope somebody goes Old Republic soon. There's a lot of story to be told there that's kind of just in the ether, because in Clone Wars there was the Darth Bane thing. I think it wasn't in the Mortis arc. It was.
It was at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was at the end.
It was the Yoda thing.
Yeah, it was the Yoda thing. Yeah.
He's the guy that made the rule of dose.
Yeah. So we know that some of the things from KOTOR and Tales of the Jedi and all that stuff happened, but it's incredibly loose as far as like what happened back then. So there's like, and you can go so far back that it has no bearing on the story, like in the main time and everything. So that's really what I'm most excited to see. Although, Favreau, his live action show looks really, really good. And moving on, Deadpool writers take on Disney's Pirates of the Caribbean reboot.
Nice. Oh, hopefully Deadpool's in it.
Is the reboot? Is it going to be forward in time, backward in time?
I'm not sure.
Same characters, different actors. Same actors, different characters.
In the last movie that came out, it was. Do you say it was a reboot?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well, never mind. I was gonna say the last movie they got. They made everything full circle and got what's his name out of the Dread Pirate Roberts thing.
Yeah, Orlando Bloom.
Yeah, he's finally able to walk on land again. And you got like a small cameo from Keira Knightley at the very end, walking up a mountain, going, "I've been waiting for you all these years."
Yarg. Now I get to leave my husband.
So you put Orlando Bloom on the map, and then Orlando Bloom gets too big for Pirates movies, and then his star dwindles and fades, and here he is back in another Pirates movie. Is basically what happened?
Basically.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Deadline brings.
I mean, if he doesn't have a bow and arrow, he's useless. Am I right?
Deadline brings word that Disney has tapped Deadpool screenwriters Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick to conceptualize a reboot of the series. They would take over from Ted Elliott and Terry Rossio, who wrote the first 4 films, and Jeff Nathanson, who penned last year's Dead Men Tell No Tales. Reese and Wernick have only begun early talks to join the franchise, so nothing is set in stone yet. However, it does state that longtime producer Jerry Bruckheimer will be remaining in his position to guide the pair's efforts. So it's probably still going to be very much the same movie. And it's going to be Disney and PG-13, so...
I just wonder if we're getting a Johnny Depp.
Yeah, that's still not...
He never stopped.
The jury's still out on whether Depp's bumbling but valiant Sparrow will be brought back in as a starring role. I'm guessing they're trying to decide if they can fit an earpiece into their budget. If he does return, however, it's likely to cause a stir among moviegoers. Considering the studio's response to old tweets from Guardian of the Galaxy director James Gunn, it'll be interesting to see how they handle Depp's character in the wake of the actor's recent domestic abuse allegations.
Wait, what?
Wait, Depp beat his wife or some shit like that.
Fuck.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks.
In addition to both Deadpool films, Reese and Wernick also scripted 2009 Zombieland. Fucking love that movie.
Zombieland 2's coming out.
And its upcoming sequel. They also wrote the upcoming action film Six Underground for Netflix, starring Ryan Reynolds and directed by Michael Bay.
You don't like Ryan Reynolds?
No, I was reading the Michael Bay as I said that. I love Ryan Reynolds.
I love Michael Bay. Michael Bay's got some great movies.
No,
Like what?
Pain and Gain. Have you seen Pain and Gain?
Yeah.
Have you?
With The Rock and Mark Wahlberg?
And Falcon. The guy that plays Falcon. And
Oh, yeah.
yeah, that movie's so good. Transformers.
Not a good movie.
Not a good movie and possibly enjoyable if you're, in the right state of mind. But
What else has he done?
not a good movie.
Camera shake. More camera shake.
Explosion camera shake robots for the Regenesis.
He didn't do Pacific Rim. That's Guillermo del Toro. What is that other Battleship?
With Liam Neeson's?
Yeah.
Nah, man. Fuck that movie.
Thing is,
In
you
the
don't
boat.
even have to pretend to keep a straight face right now. It's not even fair.
If somebody can All right, if somebody can say that your movie isn't as good as the board game it's based off of,
It's not. Well, I mean,
fucked up.
have you seen Battleship?
No, I haven't. But come on,
My
it's
eyes
a movie
are-
about a fucking
My
board
eyes are
game.
up here, no one. So you check me out. I don't know.
Sizing you up. It's a little too easy in this get up here.
No, it's basically like Battleship. At first, it's naval battle, and then
aliens.
and then aliens. It's like they took the leftover Transformers that they splooged out and put them in this movie.
It's like a giant ship. It's like a meteor ship, right?
Yeah.
It's a meteor robot
Yeah,
ship.
it's a meteor robot. They're like, oh god, there's something that's gonna kill the Earth if it hits here.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's actually alive.
Yeah, but we better fight. Better fight with our battleships, and then they look at the camera.
No.
Honestly, I like the movie I was describing better.
And thanks to IO9, we have confirmation that the original Teen Titans cartoon is making a comeback.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's Teen Titans versus Teen Titans Go.
Yeah, I was literally just about to say
I
that.
know, I wanted to. I watched the. Have you seen the trailer?
Mm-mm.
Then I said it. You're welcome.
Yeah, you could have brought that up after I said it.
I just did.
I hate you.
Okay, so wait. What?
The story of it is that I can't remember his name, but the guy with the remote.
Yeah, what is his name?
He canceled the show, apparently,
Right.
and now they've been trapped in this TV cancellation world, and now they've found a way out. Ergo, uncanceled.
Yeah.
And it's basically going to be the two of them versus each other. Not like in real life, but I don't know, maybe one fighting for survival and to come back, where the other one's...
Wait, okay,
goes into-
so they're doing like a TV special and then rebooting the series, or are they just doing this one-off where they
I don't know if
fight, or are they...
their season 6 is officially confirmed, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's like a one-off and then Teen Titans.
Okay, cool. I'm down with that.
It's unclear if the crossover will be a TV special or a full-length movie.
Do you think
I
that
didn't.
they'll go more mature with the subject material, considering the demographic is aged out?
The subject material that was in the regular Teen Titans was already mature and
Right. I'm saying,
heavy hitting.
Do you think they'll split the difference between Teen Titans Go and that, or do you think they'll go back to the original form? Or...
I think they'll split the difference.
Yeah.
I think that Teen Titans will probably be dumbed down a little bit because we have other things like Young Justice and stuff. If they want to use animation to get a little bit more mature, but Teen Titans, because most people, our generation is going to say, "Oh yeah, Teen Titans." Younger people will probably be like, "Okay, it's just a new version of Go." Like people that started with Go are going to transition into this and expect it to be kind of the same thing, just a little less
Crappy.
toony. Yeah.
I read a review where it's basically going to be they're picking up exactly where the last one left off, and they're bringing back Terra, and they want it to be the same as the last one. They said they weren't going to dumb it down.
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully it stays consistent. But I would probably see dumbing down before I'd see elevation of theme.
They also recently did a Teen Titans Go and Young Justice crossover. Yeah.
How does that work? The
The
animation styles.
The animation, it's like Teen Titans Go jumped into their universe, I guess, and started helping them out with their problems, but not really. They basically Aqua as the captain and Young Justice, and he just kept on going can you guys just go? You're literally useless. Look at us. We have a developed backstory. We have all this drama and tension and wonderful things going on. What do you have? What do you have? All you do is eat pizza and chips. And Robin's like, no, we don't. And Cyborg and Beast Boy both run out on screen and pizza and chips? We love pizza and chips. And they're about to start singing a song. Robin's like, not now. It's no, we could be heroes. Yeah. I don't know, but it's pretty funny.
And last but not least, the Joker movie finds its Bruce Wayne and Alfred Pennyworth.
Dope.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Major casting, we'll find out. God damn it. Major casting news was announced today for the next year's Joker movie. Via comicbook.com, Douglas Hodge has been cast as Alfred Pennyworth, and Dante Pereira Olsen will be playing a young Bruce Wayne.
The other Olsen.
The other Olsen twin. Joker will take place years before the emergence of Batman. Brett Cullen's role as Thomas Wayne implies that Bruce's parents will have a major part in this movie. Creating a connection between the Joker and Bruce Wayne before his parents were murdered is an interesting angle. It is.
Jack Napier.
Don't do it.
You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight?
Don't do it.
No.
Don't do it. Please, God, don't do it.
Oh.
The early images of Joaquin Phoenix, of course, promise a new take on every aspect of the infamous villain. Oh, God, please don't.
I have no problem with it.
I do.
Why?
Because it makes the joke... If Batman's parents aren't killed by just a nameless thug, it loses. It's the same thing as the Sandman.
I mean, they didn't say that.
It's the same thing as...
They didn't say that he kills.
No,
Bruce's parents.
I'm saying if they do the same thing they did in Batman, and they Jack Napier, and he's the one who kills his parents, that's a bad move. Because it makes the Joker too important and gives Batman an end goal, as opposed to Batman realizing the complexity of the criminal world and everything. If Batman realizes that it's just some dude who killed his parents, then every criminal has to be addressed on the same level. But if the Joker did it, then the Joker's just the top of a hierarchy, and he's an end goal, and the themes don't mean as much. I'm not phrasing it very well.
What about the Vatichemicals isn't a thing. He's already the Joker in this. Does that not bother you?
No, because that's
like
minor details. That's not like...
It's kind of what makes the Joker the Joker.
But no,
it's his worldview that makes him the Joker.
But
right.
It's from all the things happening, and the Vatichemicals there's the tip of the iceberg.
In Batman 1989, when they opened it up to a more a cinematic universe, and Tim Burton was trying to Tim Burton,
good,
very old Barton was trying to establish the conflict between Batman and the Joker. Mm-hmm. And when he did that, he hammered too hard on them having fucked each other's lives up. Mm-hmm. Whereas in the comics, it's because of their worldviews that they butt heads.
Yeah.
And Batman has to realize that in order to be an agent of order, he has to face all these elements of chaos. Mm-hmm. And the Joker is the embodiment of that in his world.
And what makes you think that there's not going to be the Vatichemicals in this?
Because we're getting a young Bruce Wayne.
So?
It's before Batman.
Also so.
So then if Batman doesn't knock him into that, I feel like that's the exact same problem as what you're saying about Bruce's parents.
No, it's not, because the Joker doesn't need Batman to cause his accident for him to have his animosity towards Batman. Right. It's their worldviews. It's Batman's strict legalism versus the Joker's strict anarchism. They're conflicting worldviews. They could have never met each other and just bump into each other and
still have the same.
It doesn't. They don't need to have backstory. In fact, that to me cheapens it, because it's the same thing as making everybody related or something like that. It
becomes a personal vendetta as opposed to a thematic conflict.
Right. But I'm still excited about it. It's looking to me like it's probably going to be one of the better movies from the DCEU. So, well,
I think it's fine if the Joker does end up being the cause of Bruce Wayne's parents' death, but not knowing, they were just
yeah, they were just some people walking
people
out of a movie theater
killing, and then Batman is the same way about that. And even if he never knows that, I don't know. I just sort of, to me, as long as they don't hammer home that's why Batman is after the Joker,
right?
Then it still works.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I mean, in the original Batman movie, like the Tim Burton one. Sorry,
Yeah.
Tim Burton.
The very old Tim Burton.
He didn't know until the end that it was a Joker that killed his parents.
Right, but they
Like-
still came to a head, and that like was like.
Yeah, that was the climax
Right.
of everything.
I think that was in assuming that the series may not have been the monster hit that it was.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But it was.
Yeah.
Because it was so good. Whatever. Fuck your opinion. It was great.
It does not hold up at all.
I don't think very many Tim Burton movies do.
Mm-mm.
But
I know
He's
like a
he's a
spew
gothic
of
Michael
people
Bay.
that would like super disagree.
well, there's lots of people that have like held on to that
True.
Halloween-y
Oh yeah,
goth
definitely. Oh yeah.
aesthetic.
I mean, they're not like some of them are dated, I guess, but like Edward Scissorhands is okay.
Visually, it feels dated.
Yeah, visually it feels dated. But I think that movie's supposed to.
Yeah,
Most definitely.
kind of has like a.
He works in extremes when it comes to like color and shapes and
Yeah, and that's I think. That is what makes it
Radical, super 90s.
kind of
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the bold contrast, the very obvious surrealism.
Mm.
Yeah, it pulls you out of it if you're not. I think in the theater it like really
Oh, yeah.
immerses you, but when it's like you're in your house and it's just hard to suspend your disbelief whenever you're watching one of those movies.
Except for with Edward Scissorhands, that's really like relatable.
Yeah.
Thematically,
That's why I never got a waterbed.
yeah.
And we'll be right back with a waterbed. Just kidding. We'll be right back with the first word. Welcome to the first word.
Hello.
Finally, it is time to start our long journey through RWBY Volume 6.
Lovely.
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 Good times. I'm going to say that this is definitely my favorite season opener since season 2, and might be my favorite overall.
This viewing experience was a tiny bit spoiled for me. Barring that, it was pretty enjoyable.
Oh, what was
Well,
it?
it was my roommates being in the room.
Had they already seen it?
No.
Oh.
Joe was like
Joe's-
making fun of the animation style the entire time.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Okay, so ruined for you. Got
Yeah,
you.
basically.
Right.
Yeah. Barring that,
how's it
though,
feel?
It's
about the
okay,
internet in your
she
house.
can't put color on anything, so I mean, it's fine. That's the reason she doesn't like it. It's not in black and white.
yeah, pretty much. Anyway, but really, the fucking animation was great though. Like
Yeah.
it looked
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah,
it was
it-
so pretty, and especially the background moving along the train track. That was really beautiful and blended in well, and there was a great sense of motion and presence and everything. The fucking fight scenes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, that moment between Ruby and Crow, and they're both like coming towards.
Oh
them,
yeah,
that was fucking
yeah.
sweet.
That was good. I got cold chills whenever like I saw his scythe come out, and then it shows her scythe. I'm like, do it, chop him in half.
Yeah.
I was kind of hoping like that they wouldn't be exactly in line with each other, and like one would go up a little bit, so you'd see like a bit of grim meat just go. But alas,
Atlas.
Still a great.
on our way.
Still a great moment.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Yep.
That might have been my favorite moment in the episode.
This felt like an extended intro sequence, you know, because a lot of the focus was on just set elements, and there wasn't a ton of dialogue for
Right.
it being as long of an episode.
Yeah.
And it got me fucking hyped about the next episode. The only thing we were really given as far as plot, I think, was the introduction of that one lady at the end.
Yeah, I felt
Her name is Maria something. It's in the credits. Yeah.
robot-eyed Katara.
Yeah, she looks cool.
Yeah, there's rumor that she used to have silver eyes.
Well, we do
yeah.
know something about her, but I don't know if I should say. She is deaf and blind. according to the preview that came out today on for next week's episode on RWBY Rewind.
Right on.
Yeah.
Wait. Why does she have the robot eyes then?
Because that's probably how she sees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. I thought you meant with the robot eyes. She's deaf and blind. I'm like, what are those there for then? It seems like a waste.
Does she have robot ears?
They kind of like come around her
Yeah.
head.
Yeah.
It's possible that they may have like a port.
sensory thing. Yeah.
I didn't like the way that she just walked off the train like that. I was still not a fan of it.
I did. It felt very just I don't know what you'd expect out of an old lady in anime to me. Just oblivious to the fact that the train just went off the tracks, which makes sense since she's deaf and everything. It's endearing. It's endearing to me. It doesn't really rub me either way, but I don't know. I like it well enough. It's not my favorite part of the episode, but it doesn't really hit me too hard.
Sun was my favorite part of this of the intro of this of all this.
Yeah,
He was pretty cool.
He was great. He was perfect. I go where I'm needed.
Oh, that fucking... There are a couple scenes in this episode where there was so much emotion in Blake's ears.
Yeah.
Like the sun scene.
The Yang scene, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because she still feels bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They haven't really had any time together since.
I hope that's not like an ongoing theme again, because it's just always an ongoing theme with Blake. Always.
Feeling guilt?
Always.
Well, yeah, that's
like,
just who she is.
Yeah.
But-
she bears it heavily, every time.
And it
develop the character.
Well, they did.
Yeah.
She was taking more of a leadership role.
There's still like her guilt and things with Yang that need to be addressed.
Yeah.
Right. She couldn't just be like, "Sup, Yang? I know I got your arm cut off. How you doing, bro?"
I got your arm cut off and bailed on you for like a year.
Yeah.
But how you been?
Yeah. So she's like walking on eggshells and like trying to do things for Yang, trying to make it seem like, hey, I do give a shit.
Yeah.
And Yang's like, I get it. We're all together. We're Team RWBY.
Yeah.
It's not gonna end.
It's cool, bro. Just
Yeah.
stop.
Right.
And hopefully it ends there.
It's like Yang getting emotional. That's the struggle that those characters have to overcome,
Yeah.
and that's
They're both gonna have to kill Adam together.
yeah. I hope so.
That'd be cool.
It's probably how that's gonna go down.
It's fucking Adam. So, all right, the White Fang.
Mm-hmm.
Is it disbanded?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because their leader
Yeah.
ran away. Like he bailed on them.
Well, he came back and just murdered everybody.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm guessing that
Yeah.
means.
Oh,
Were
they-
those the faction leaders that he was killing in the throne room?
No, I think those are just random people, or like random White Fang members. Cause,
Right.
Because it sounded like as soon as the intro started, like they were confronting him about it, and that's
Yeah.
why he attacked them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Because like Blake's dad started his own club, like because he separated.
Right.
The Good Fang.
So
Hop on the Good Fang.
we'll
That's a good band name.
the Good Fang.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll likely get some solo Adam losing his mind over the course of this season. And speaking of characters losing their minds, we also, if we're going to get into the intro. Let's see. We have the hooded figure, who's probably Cinder. Although if there's one shot for just a brief moment, you see a bowler hat with a red stripe flying by her head. Yeah.
I still think it's Cinder.
Oh yeah, the woman in that's absolutely Cinder. It's just a couple scenes later you see her stretchy arm go out. But I think we're also probably going to get Neo back in this season because Torchwick is confirmed dead, but Neo is confirmed just MIA, and she'll be back at some point, which would be cool. I'd like to see more variety in in the villains and everything, and not make it so binary, of good and evil. Put some people against both sides that have their own motivations and everything.
That'd be cool to see. Because there must be people caught in the middle of all this.
Right.
Didn't Neo just disappear?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She got knocked off the plane at the end of season 3.
Yeah, that's what I thought. We've not seen anything. She was not dead. She was just
Yeah. She fell. She still had her umbrella, I believe. So she probably just Mary Poppins'd her way back to the ground and walked off.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she didn't really have any real affiliation with not Cinder, but with
Salem.
Salem.
Yeah.
She was just
Torchwick's.
Yeah, she was
main
Torchwick's right hand.
His
mute.
bottom bitch.
Yes. That.
What? You don't think? Come on.
I don't know why she still has the bowler cap. How'd she get the bowler cap?
It's really easy to loot corpses. I don't know if you noticed.
Not when they're inside of a Grim that is gone.
That's true.
Do you think the bowler hat actually stayed on his head the entire time?
I think as he was being
Digested?
the bowler
Did Grim
cap
digest, or
remained.
does it just materialize, dematerialize?
What's the difference?
Because it takes a minute to digest.
Yeah, fair. Yeah. I was thinking just anything that goes inside of them just kind of burns away.
Yeah.
They don't poop. We've never seen Grim poo.
They could not poo and still digest things.
Maybe they're like owls.
And
Yeah,
Ozpin.
they like to,
They it up into pellets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ozpin, I love you. You're great. You're one of my favorite characters. I love that guy. But for the love of God, omissions are still lies.
Yeah. It's like, well, I didn't think it was relevant. It's
Well,
clearly relevant.
I mean, it should have been kind of assumed, I feel like. I feel like that they're kind of stupid in not assuming that they're going to be getting attacked since they have this one thing that Salem super wanted,
Right.
and she controls the Grim.
Right.
You're kind of fucking stupid if you don't actually understand that the Grim are going to be after you.
Well, even Crow was surprised.
He
surprised
did.
by
He's
it.
stupid too.
Well, I mean, to be fair, have we encountered an object that will attract Grim yet?
Right.
I don't think so.
No, but either way, it's not the fact of even just the object. It's Salem controls the Grim.
Right.
Salem wants
Right.
that.
Yeah.
That's a key item that she needs and controls these things that are going to be attacking them. Of course.
Right, but it's different if it attracts them than her just searching for it with the Grim.
I mean, it
'Cause
might.
then they have to know where
It might
they
be a
are.
both side kind of thing.
No,
Yeah.
he clearly says that it attracts the Grim.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's different than Salem just using the Grim to search for it.
I wonder why it attracts the Grim. There might be a bigger thing to it as to why it attracts the Grim.
Maybe it is tied into some darker power that the
Yeah.
relic holds.
Magnetism, which we'll be talking about in the first week's episode of Does It Science, coming soon. But no, it's probably just a good evil thing. It's magic. The whole point of magic, what makes something magic in any fiction, is there's no explanation for it. If something can be explained, it's not magic. Magic just is. It's just how it works. So it's probably just the Grimm are attracted to it because Oz made them and Salem made the Grimm and they're opposed to each other. So blah 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 blah. Magic.
Yeah.
Magic.
Pushing down on me. Pushing down on you.
No, man, that's well.
Although
Magic.
hopefully this means we get a lot of fun and different Grimm fights this season. If they're going to be constantly having to fight them off.
Yeah, I was surprised they blew their load on the whole Manicore thing so soon.
I don't feel like that's the head of the whole Manicore thing, man.
Oh no, but I mean, I'm just saying
I feel like we're gonna get bigger ones.
they were revealed a new Grimm and we were all excited about it,
Yeah.
and then they used it in the first episode. So I think they have a lot more up their sleeve.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Man,
I was just going to say, speaking of sleeves and Grimm, what the hell was that 100-arm thing that was that grabs Crow in the intro sequence,
yeah.
and that RWBY is fighting off in the next shot. After we get a close up of Maria's goggles, and then zoom in on Ruby's eyes, which they're smart. They're not going to tease that and it not have something to do with it. So I think that finally we're going to get Silver Eyes some explanation on this volume.
I feel like, I mean, if that woman is the Silver-Eyed, who used to have silver eyes, she's going to be Ruby's teacher.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, I was watching Volume 5 last night with the commentary from Miles and Carrie, and there was supposed to be another character in Volume 5, a new character, and a plot line that, quote, a lot of fans were really, really excited about and wanted to hear, but there wasn't time to fit it into Volume 5, so I had to push it back to another season, possibly very soon, according to Carrie. So I think that might be what that is, because people have been clamoring for a long time about getting some explanation on that, and also just getting some more development for RWBY. And one theory I've seen that seems interesting and plausible is with RWBY being an allusion to Red Riding Hood. It's possible that she might be some kind of grandmother / wolf figure, where she, possibly lures RWBY in, but she's trying to take her eyes or something like that.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Ugh. I mean, in the new opening trailer, she's at that like squad little thing that they got going on at the very end of it all. Mm-hmm. So she's obviously on their side.
Yeah.
For now.
Which there's so much
For now.
in that.
For now.
There's so much in that shot to me, like RWBY and Weiss's body language and everything says so much in that last frame of everybody standing up against whatever they are. And
oh yeah, they're gonna go through some shit.
Yeah.
Make the last of it all RWBY injured and getting picked up by Weiss. Man, there's this neat little theory that's going down about Adam, that he's gonna have Salem turn him into like a full-fledged like Supergirl, some kind of thing. Because I know that Blake is like Beauty and Beast like personified, but Adam's kind of become the Beast half of it all, where she is the Beauty of it all. It's separated. Mm-hmm. And I feel like and he's getting driven down to madness, and I feel like that's going to end up happening.
I feel like Salem is very pragmatic, and for a force of pure evil, she's a good boss, but she does not, and she's pretty forgiving of failure as long as it's not a matter of hubris. As long as it's not a matter of putting your own wants in front of her own. And the fact that Adam failed at Haven makes me feel like and it's the same thing with Cinder too, if Adam or Cinder ever step foot in front of Salem again, or if she ever finds them, I feel like they're going to have the same fate as Leo.
I don't think Adam's met Salem. I think he's only directly worked with Hazel and Cinder.
But even so, he worked for Salem. He knew that, because he referenced their master when he talked to him. So he knew they were working for someone above them. And I don't think that Salem is going to be in the mood after they failed at Beacon. I don't think Salem's going to be in the mood, not Beacon, Haven, to give Adam any kind of magical powers, if she even can.
It might be a punishment.
That's exactly what I was going to say. It might be like he wants he wants something, he wants power or something, and she's like, "Oh, I'll give you power," and turns him into this giant beast.
You're not going to be able to think anymore.
Yeah, just basically turns him into a mindless
slave.
Yeah.
Maybe, but I mean, if you just make Adam mindless and just,
I think that I don't think we'll get that anytime soon. I think we'll get like a lot more conflicts with him as himself.
I don't know.
Before that happens.
I feel
if
like
that does happen.
I feel like he's like getting driven down to being that, and I feel like that could happen in this season.
I think he'll have one more failure before that goes down, or one more victory.
I feel like the next time Yang and Blake see him, that's gonna be the last time we get him.
And hopefully they kill him then. But if you take away, I mean, you can strip his personality and just make him deranged and everything, but if you just turn him into just a drone, basically, then it doesn't mean anything when Blake and Yang kill him.
Right.
Yeah.
But if Blake and Yang kill him anyway,
I mean, that's the point.
That doesn't necessarily mean that they will have overcome the trauma that he caused.
No, but they need to do that before. Like, that needs to be the finale or whatever of their joint character arc of getting over that whole thing, is taking down Adam is the culmination of all that. If they kill him before they've dealt with their personal issues, then yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
But afterwards, that's all he was really there for, like, is to serve that story. So once that's done, I don't really think Adam's really necessary. He's kind of like Torchwick in the first 3 volumes. I love Torchwick, but no, he wouldn't have made any sense in the last 2 volumes that we've had. Like, he's too small scale, and I feel like Adam is getting too small scale for the world at this point.
Mm.
I think that's why we were searching for a way to power him up, because without White Fang and without him being able to physically overcome any of the members of Team RWBY,
he's just a crazy guy with a shotgun sword.
Well, keep in mind, Adam, all of Team RWBY, no.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But how is he going to get them away from one another?
Right.
Pull them into the woods and pick them off one by one.
How's he going to do that alone?
Agamon, Yang would definitely go running into the woods to capture him.
See, yeah, that's why I feel like
Lose another arm in the process.
But Yang's whole character development was for her to
calm down.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
her dad said that basically her semblance is just a temper tantrum.
Oh yeah, no, you see it at the end of Volume 5, her, let go of the rage. Like, whenever, Mercury grabs a hold of her robot arm and she's trying to make her way down, you see her with red eyes and you just see her blink and it's blue again.
Perfect.
No, perp, whatever.
Don't ant on the podcast. Don't ant.
Up an atom ant?
yeah.
No.
You giving me mixed signals, guys?
See, Ant is colorblind.
He is?
Also, they're violent.
Ants?
No, Yang's eyes.
Oh.
So,
So,
I think we already know everybody's, but favorite moments from this week?
There was a sweet Nora moment.
Why is it always something?
Yeah. Which, somebody talked shit about that line while I was watching it, and that hurt my feelings, because I was like, if you'd seen the other 5 seasons, you'd know why she was saying that, obviously.
Yeah, no, I couldn't have done that.
yeah, no.
Right. We were running out of time also, so... I had thought about walking out of the room, but I also didn't want to be rude to everyone else who was there.
Fuck them. You're like, nope.
People want to be rude while you're trying to watch shit. Fuck them.
That's true.
Well, someone kept saying, I think they're trying to watch it, and then they just be like, okay, and then be quiet for like a minute, and then conversations would start up again. They start screaming. Not screaming, but talking loudly.
I'm sure when you're around Nolan so much, everything sounds like screaming to you.
Because you're quiet. All the time.
Yeah, okay. Not all the time.
Even when you yell, it's kind of like dainty.
That's not true.
No, I'm pretty sure Sun was my favorite moment out of this episode. Sun or the scythe, the dual scythe.
Dual scythe is cool.
Yeah.
Man, I really wish that I really thought that whenever that dude got his arm broken, I thought his
arm was gone.
You're right.
Yeah.
You'd think that shit would have just been. Whoosh.
Right, but they have auras, remember?
I don't feel like that's strong enough to stop that super fast train from
Why
knocking
not?
off. Because this guy looks like a pansy and he doesn't look like he has enough
He's
aura for this.
He's still a professional huntsman.
Yeah.
Did you deepen your voice when you said that?
Yeah. That was, you know.
Get a little bravado in there.
Yeah, that guy was a fucking... They were both punks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's. He should have lost that arm.
I hope he is not a graduate of Beacon.
Yeah, dual scythe. Like, there's so many good moments. Just the train sequence in general. Like, I feel like this is as far as action and intensity, there's some personal things like Yang versus the Bandits last season or Crow versus Tyrion that I probably enjoyed more because I like those kind of smaller story-driven personal fights. But as far as a set piece goes, this is, to me, the best we've gotten in years. You know, and like you said, there wasn't much dialogue. It was a lot of strong action and and the pacing was good in the fight too. Like, there wasn't like cutaways to characters talking where you lose track of the action. Like, everything kept moving at a strong pace. Really good shit. Predictions for next week?
I mean, obviously, it's going to be centered around Eyeless Wonder, whatever her name is.
Katara.
Yeah, Katara.
Maz Katara.
Yeah. I think we'll get a lot of that. I think we'll get a little bit more of Blake and Yang. Although, I do think keeping that interaction more, like...
Subtle
is a good move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like at some point, Yang is going to snap on Blake, and Blake's going to be oblivious. Like, you know, why do you keep doing that? Why do you keep trying to help me? I don't know what you're talking about. And then it's just going to erupt into a whole thing of Yang lecturing Blake and Blake apologizing, whatever. Because I can't see Blake being the dominant one in that conversation. That's never been their dynamic with each other.
Although it is possible for Dark Horse people like Blake to, like, you know, get fed up with the situation as it is and espouse something like that. But I think, you know, given the context of what they've been doing, I don't think Blake will be the one to antagonize the situation.
No.
And I think we're going to get the scene from the trailer where everybody is... Well, Yang and Weiss are pissed at Ospen. Blake's got her pimp hand out. And, yeah. And Ruby's just kind of... Ruby looks more hurt than anything. Like, Ruby doesn't look like she's mad. But, and I think that almost definitely has to do with the not telling them about the relic and the Grim attraction and all of that.
See, I thought that part would have to do with something that Oscar did, not Ospen, because Ruby has a softer spot for Oscar than the rest of them do.
I think Ruby has a softer spot for both of them.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Ruby just is a soft spot.
Ruby's been around Oscar Penn a lot longer than the other girls have.
Yeah. Oscar Penn.
Oscar
More
Penn?
of Oscar doing his own thing.
Yeah. I mean,
Like Ospen taking over.
I feel
Well,
like
they're
that's
kind of merging.
I feel like that was kind of a bit in this episode was like Oscar Ospen was like, "Shall I?" and Oscar was just like, "No." No. I'm keeping control. This is me. Get the fuck out of here, bro. And it wasn't until like he needed to.
Which, that's another thing in the trailer that's got me really excited. Are not the trailer, the opening sequence. Are the old Ozpins that you see. You see like a sequence of like 4 or 5 different incarnations, and one of them is the floaty guy from the trailer. If you remember in the Volume 6 trailer, there's a guy in a trench coat who's hovering on the ground, and the people like worshiping him or whatever. Yeah. That dude is one of Ozpin's previous incarnations. And
Maybe.
there was that blonde chick at a statue of what is most likely also a previous incarnation of Ozpin.
The statue looked directly like Ozpin.
Yeah, it did.
It had the staff. I mean, yeah, it had his cane. So.
But he's always had the cane.
True.
Yeah.
But I mean, the hair. I'm pretty sure he had those glasses, those stupid circle glasses.
Glasses.
Why are you taking shit on it?
I don't know. I just like shitting on Ozpin.
It's really easy.
Yeah. He's kind of for a guy that's lived so long, he's really fucking dumb still.
I don't know.
All of them are kind of dumb though.
He's kind of like been blinded by his own wisdom, almost. You know?
Yeah.
Because he knows how bad things can go when people know everything. So he's kind of tried to avoid giving away all of the information that he knows is dangerous.
They need to get to Atlas as quick as possible with that relic. If he had told them that it would attract Grimm, they would have gone the long way to avoid people, and he was right. King Ruby would have done that. He made the right choice as far as their mission is concerned to not say anything.
Right.
Now, is it still a liable mission and therefore a betrayal of his promise to Yang? Absolutely, but it makes sense for why he would do that.
Right.
I feel like everything Ozpin does makes sense and is justified in the context of what he is setting out to accomplish, even if it's morally questionable in the moment.
Say it's logical to somebody who's been alive that long, not really logical to a bunch of teenage girls who you're, you know.
Which is an interesting dynamic that Ozpin is so clearly good, but also morally ambiguous in his choices, while Salem is so clearly evil, but is also, like I said before, not mean. Like Salem is basically pretty level-headed and pragmatic with her approach to her
Evilness.
I was going to say to her consorts, and also to people in general. You know, Salem acknowledges that the strength of humanity and everything. But
she's good to you till you're not useful anymore.
Right.
Like Leo.
Well, it's not that Leo wasn't useful anymore. It was the fact that Leo was a coward and was trying to run away because he failed at
Both
Haven.
sides.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like he already knew that she was going to kill him because he failed.
Yeah.
That's why he was trying to run away.
Well, obviously,
yeah. But
He had no more use. That still runs back to that exact same.
But she wouldn't have killed Leo for just failing at a Haven. I don't think. I don't think that's
I mean,
Salem's...
she had already threatened him at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, but
there's a difference between motivation and like consequence.
Right.
Because you could tell somebody, if you don't do this, I'm going to kill you,
Yeah.
even if you never thought that was a possibility. Because
No,
he's
I'm
still a
pretty
resource.
sure he knew that was a possibility.
Right. He's still a resource,
Yeah.
regardless of whether or not he's.
I mean, the only thing that he had that she wanted was gone now.
Yeah.
There's nothing else that he could have done
Access to. Yeah. But I mean, there may have been something he was capable of doing.
I
further on.
definitely don't think it would have been as brutal as it was. I don't think she would have killed him in general, but I don't think it definitely would have been as brutal as it was if he had actually gone there to tell her and everything. You know, if he'd actually done what he said he was going to do whenever she confronted him.
Right.
But the fact that he ran away, she killed him for his cowardice.
This is also like the same woman that thought a good therapy session for Cinder to get over Ruby was to have her burn her alive multiple times, and like she's still a sadistic
Oh,
shit.
absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
I 100% believe she still would have killed him for more than just being a coward. Like she's still super evil.
But not like that.
Yeah. It's not like an emotionally driven sadism.
Yeah.
It's like a pragmatism based around her sadistic desires.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I still don't understand how that would save Leo for other than just being a coward. I feel like he still would have been killed. Still would have been like straight ganked by whatever that jellyfish thing was.
Why didn't she kill Tyrion?
Tyrion's still useful.
Eh.
He's still a mindless person who just wants to serve her.
Exactly. That's if he had been
If he remained loyal.
Yeah.
Yeah. If and regardless of his failure, if Leo had remained loyal to Salem,
and hadn't fleed out of his own fear,
Right.
then she would still have the use for him in being a pawn. If he doesn't even have the courage to submit his will to her,
True.
then
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fair.
but the woman, I was trying to get to that. That's another mystery. That was at the statue of Ozpin, the blonde chick. Yeah.
Mm.
Maybe a
Past lover.
God, I hope not. But maybe a pre-curse or whatever happened to her Salem. Or people are saying summer, but it's not summer. It doesn't look anything like summer.
What if it is Salem?
I mean, that's possible. Because I feel like Oz had something to do with her becoming the way that she is.
Osmond would be the worst person to be in a relationship with. Why don't you take the trash out, Oz? You'll see. There are greater forces at work here. I just couldn't.
But we will be back next week to talk more about RWBY Volume 6. So, sure to tune in for that. And make sure to watch the full Fandom Nonsense podcast every Wednesday. And, of course, if you're watching the podcast, we'll be right back.
What else do we have to talk about?
You know, you say that, and you're right. You're so right. Yeah, there's really not that much. So, yeah, there's really nothing else to talk about. Aaron makes a good point.
How are you feeling? I
Yeah.
feel like we're always talking. You know, we never really give you a chance.
What have we got?
What have we got?
What have we got coming down the pipeline for these people we can talk about?
I got
Does It
Puppy.
Science Season 3 is actually finally in production, so look forward to that in about 3 or 4 weeks. Hopefully you get the first episode. Of course, Child's Play every Monday. We just did Super Smash Brothers this week. What are you guys doing next week?
Huh?
What do you guys...
Time Splitters 2. It's actually happening, though.
Okay. And,
I got it done, and I went through the campaign and got all the characters and did all this different stuff. We're fucking playing it.
And if you go to our Facebook page, you can watch our 4-part Halloween Spooktactular.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm going to post them all on...
I was just about to ask when you're going to do...
Yeah, I'm probably going to do that on Halloween.
Okay.
But, yeah.
Okay.
Put them all in one video and whatnot.
So you can watch that today on Halloween. And Aaron has recorded a Let's Play of Star Fox Adventures for the Nintendo GameCube. And when can you expect?
Probably November. Sometime in November. No, like the beginning of November.
Right.
November 1st. Part 1 will come out. I'm more interested to figure out what I'm going to do for my Thanksgiving shorts.
You could just do one, like for Thanksgiving.
No, I want to do something about like the guy that I want to like take all the embodiment of all the people who already play Christmas music before Christmas and before Thanksgiving and whatnot.
Okay.
And I want to just mesh it all into one person. So like, I got this Christmas tie that lights up and whatnot. I want to like go ahead and wear it, like him walking in and seeing like me already decorating a tree. You know, like Halloween was yesterday. Like, perfect time to prep. I don't know. I haven't really,
Yeah.
And
thought about it.
I always like a good Thanksgiving special, though.
True.
It's very network TV type thing.
And tomorrow, I will be dropping my first solo Let's Play of Simpsons Hit and Run. And on Friday, you can, if you don't want to watch the full podcast, which I'm sorry you made it this far, you can watch the first word on its own on Friday. So, a lot of things coming up this week and weeks to come, so make sure to like, subscribe, share, and leave us a comment. Tell us what you did for your Halloween, and tell us a ghost story. But